Hello everybody and welcome back to Alma. So we are just on our way to go fertilise, I think it's field 5, the long big field to the left of our farm. But whilst we're on the way, you'll be able to see that there are some deadwood trees just there on the left. So this is for a job for Katie, which should give us another 5% discount. So I am just going to go and abandon the tractor. No, I don't need to abandon the tractor, I can go down this track. So we are going to nip down this track because it's right next to the field that we need to fertilise. And we're going to go just chop these down because what I believe is that if we just chop them down, we don't have to do anything with them. It's literally just cut and run. So it'll be the easiest £1,000 I think we make this whole series. So if we stop here, I don't know whether I have... Okay, I don't have a chainsaw, so this contract is paying for us to buy a chainsaw, which that's completely fine. I always go for Husqvarna because that's what I have at home. We will go for, let's go for this one. I've never seen one of these before. I don't have anything to do with one. Oh, pressed F2 then by accident. Right, so let's find, so here's one. What I will do though is I'll drop them in the trees just in case they don't disappear. So let's cut this one down. And then where are the others? Ah, we drew. Was that the last one? Okay. It's a shame because if we're at a sawmill, we could cut these up and take them to the sawmill, so then we're benefiting twice. But obviously we haven't quite got to that stage just yet. So let's get this one done. And then there's two here. Drop these ones, and then one over there. They may be worth doing more of these if this is all I've got to do. Very dangerous running under a tree that's falling. This one. And then... Oh, it's 66%. Okay, so I'm missing quite a few of them by the sounds of it. So let's get this one gone. And then will this be the last one? Yeah, brilliant. So that now means if we go into here, so that contract was worth £1,800, so we're getting £800 from that. So let's collect that, which that should now also mean that I would like to buy this field, which is... Why is it not registering that we've just done another job for Katie? Let's go out, let's go back in, let's see if that changes anything. Interesting, because that job was for Katie. We've done it, and it's saying only 20%. Oh. Because there... Oh, well, she's got a harvesting job there, and then she has the harvesting job of field 5. Field 5 is the one we want. So, can we afford that now? Yeah, so we're going to buy that, because then it gives us a harvesting contract to go out straight away to do it. Let's purchase the soil information. Yes, please. And we'll set the tram lines whilst we're here. So they want to be 36. Like that. And there we have it. We now have another field, which also means that we're now going to go into this field. Let's get our GPS set up. So steering assist on, one headland. And we'll get cracked on with this, make another £40,000. And then we can go look at, because over at the farm we've got the silage bales on the trailer. But because they're 150s, I did make the mistake of doing 150 straw bales before remembering to change it over. So we're going to then have to put the straw bales on that same trailer, and then once we've done that, we've got the 180s to bring back. So we've got a fair bit of work to do, to be fair. But we're going to get on with this first. is contract complete. So we'll get that turned off quickly because we don't want to waste. We've got 1,092 litres, so actually we didn't need that extra 1,000 litres, which it doesn't matter because we can bring it back to the farm, which is just here, and unload. I know this doesn't look the best, just everything laid abandoned here, but we will sort it out at some point. So let's empty that out, and if we just jump out, we can now collect on this contract, which, ooh, to be fair, what wheels are on these? They're wide tyres. I was going to say, to be fair, we could load up with fertiliser and gone and fertilised our new field, but I don't think that's a goer. So let's go to active 44,560. Let's collect on that. Yes, please. And then we need two. Let's just check the animals because I can't remember what we've done. So chickens could do with a feed. The cows are fine at the minute. I could really do, I might let the total mixed ration run out so then they can use up the hay and the silage that's in there, because I'd rather get rid of that now. I didn't even check the sheep. I'm sure they'll be fine because they should have, yeah, they've got 2 bales there, but they do have some, if we go to here, they've got another milk churn. So my guess is that there's one of them is going to be full, so we just want to get that out of the way, and we also want to move those wool pallets there because they are in the spawn point for when we want to get stuff out of that shed. So this one's the full one. Right, so we can pick both of those 2 up and get these out of the way. The milk churn can go into the cold storage because obviously no one likes warm milk. So let's just pick them up. Take them over to here, which we'll have to have a look at the time saving stock check because we've got that many different things now. It's, if we don't keep an eye on it, you know, we'll very easily miss out on certain things. Let's just drop that down. Let's do that, and there we go. And where are we going to put? Do we maybe put the wool down the side of the shed? It's still then undercover-ish. Maybe here, but then if we do, let me have a think. Gonna put it around the back here. Like, we could have parked some implements in here, but I think it's better that we keep this wool dry and out of the way. So let's put those 4 there. And now let's find let's go find the combine first. We do need to sort these pallets out at some point, which, to be fair, we can do it now quickly, can't we? Be interesting to see how much this can actually lift, because with the tines being so long, I imagine a lot of the work that's going to be used is on the end of the tines. So it'll be interesting how much weight is on the back end of this machine to stop it from tipping. Stop it from tipping right over. Right, with them now moved out the trigger, let's go and find. We might as well go get this done now. We're going to go see whether we can get these 150 bales on, which I hope it can do. It's now just finding the things. So I'm going to say that's a 180. And I'm going to say that this one back here is a 150. Brilliant. So I think it's these 3 lines here of bales that we need to collect, and then we can go get all these big ones. Well, we really need to look at getting some sort of bale storage, because the whole reason why I put this concrete here was just for a bit of a concrete pad to store them all on. But it's there's a fair few building up, and oops, those bales just went tumbling in. But right, let's get this folded back to normal and we can have a quick look. We won't be able to buy one today, I don't think, because where the bales are is where I'd like to put it. So if we go silos, because I'd like it to be an auto load one. Yeah, so we just throw them in, it stacks them neatly, and then we just get them out as and when we need. So we had that one in Oakbridge Farm, which, to be fair, that one would probably fit the best there. But anyways, let's have a look. There's another one. What's the capacity? 450 bales. That's decent. And that would, because it's just trying to keep it all in keeping with the. I always try to keep things so they look right. So we could put that one like there. And then it frees up, it leaves this space open for anything else we may want. What else do we have? I think that could be the one to go for. What's this one? Is that a bale? And oh, that's a bale one. And to be fair, that actually fits really well in that whole space. So that we may go for that one. The only problem with this one is it's very European, so we may leave that for a different series. What about this one? No, I think that top one's probably the best one for us, unless we were to go with the Giants one. But right, so when we get a chance, we are going to go for this one into here to store all our bales, and then it's still very much in keeping with the map. So let's find, this is what we want, because we're going to have to go put the trailer onto this, because then it means we can get on and do the out harvest, which is down in that field. But yeah, so we'll get the trailer onto here, but whilst we're doing that, we'll also give the chickens a bit of food. So we will pull into here. We don't need a lot of wheat, I don't think. Oh, I missed I missed the place to load up. Right, let's load up with wheat. And I've just seen our plough over there, which has reminded me there is damage in some of our stubble fields, and especially in our alfalfa field. It has grown back though in the alfalfa, so I don't think I'll touch that. But the damage in our other fields, if I was to direct drill over the top, will that get rid of the damage and drill in, or will it stay permanently damaged until we go in with a plough or a subsoiler or a deep cultivator? This is something I don't know, so I'll put the question to you lot out there, that if you do know the answer to it, please do feel free to leave me a comment below. I am going to go on the proviso of we will probably have to do something, so I will drop a plough in, just only into the damaged bits, because I would do it with a cultivator, but we don't have one, because I believe the disc harrow wouldn't go deep enough to sort out the problem. But I could very well be wrong on that one. But right, let's get to the oat field. We'll park this up and then we'll go get the John Deere. And we've left our sprayer royally in the way. So I will just park this up here, but this is not the most ideal place for the combine. So I'm guessing the combine we're going to have to go a bit further up. So let's find the combine now. Here we go. So we'll get this down there, and yeah, like I said, I think we're going to have to go to the main road and go in that way, otherwise we'll just struggle to get the header off. So this looks a bit flatter up here to take and sort everything out, because I know last time, what do? We got the header caught on the trailer. So let's just hope that it doesn't happen this time. So mind me crop, because I don't want to drive in that, because we do have crop destruction on, which I think both my wheels went in it then, so I have done a bit of damage. Right, let's get this going, and let's just make sure again, we should have straw swath on, because we did it in our barley field. Yes, we do. So, right, there is not much more to say, but we'll get this cut. Does that have weeds in, or did they kill them? Oh, that's a shame. It does have weeds in this field by the looks of it. Starting to get a bit worried there looking at the yield, because obviously I imagine oats don't yield very highly at all, and I was just thinking that for us to have done the contract, I think it was £16,500 plus we got to keep 1,800 litres, so I was getting a bit worried thinking that it probably would have been more beneficial to do the contract than buy the field, but that is simply not the case. This field also needs, I've had a look, it needs ploughing as well. So we are going to, once we get the bales off, which that'll be next episode, we'll be baling and getting them off. We're going to bring the case down in here with the plough, and then he can plough it all out, which is beneficial because we have the bits of damage in here, and we also have the tram lines that we need to get rid of so that we can put our tram lines in. Which, the tram lines make me laugh. From a lot of videos I've seen, a lot of people, in FS22, were going on about how it would be lovely to have tramlines, Now we've got tramlines. There's a lot of people now who are saying they don't actually like them and they don't want them in game. Whereas for me, I think it adds to the realism. Yes, you're losing out if you think year on year how much crop you're losing out on in the game, but it's no different to if it was real life. I think, was it on Clarkson's farm where he said there was something like, was it 50 miles he had lost in tram lines? Something ridiculous anyways in mileage. And I know where we are, one estate that near us, it's 10,000 acres. You think of all the arable land they've got with tram lines, it would take up a lot of, you're missing out on a lot of grain, but how else can you do it? Unless you go buy a plane or a helicopter. But right, we'll just finish this bit and then put this into the trailer, and then that'll do for this episode. And then we're fortunate, we're in the position of, because we're going to be buying a planter this year, well, I say this year, we're going to be buying a planter sort of December, January time, that we don't actually need to drill anything this year. So once we've got harvest done, we can get lime on all the fields and prep in that way. We don't need to plough anything, bar this field and the bits of damage, just to make sure. So we're in it's going to be a really relatively chilled out summer and winter. But once we get into the beginning of next year, that's when it's going to be carnage. But getting this big, I think it's an 18 metre planter we're going for. Is it the Kenzie, I think? But getting that is going to make life so much easier. Ooh, I just hit something then. Yeah, so it is, let's go into here, up to planters. This one, so we can do fertilizer seed, 18.2 meters and 11 miles an hour, and the 350 horsepower, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. Yes, that's 435. Okay, so we couldn't use the John Deere, so that is a case only machine. Right, we'll get this folded up, we'll get it all put away, and then yeah, I'll see you back at the yard when we're tipping the oats in. And we shouldn't really be driving across the top of the swaths like this. Where to park this? I think let's just abandon it. Abandon it here, because I don't know whether the soybeans or the maize harvest, I don't know which one of them is going to come first, but let's turn that off. Let's find, well, we can turn that off as well. Right, let's get the John Deere and bring this back. So 25,113 litres of oats, which, does that come on a time saving stock check now? No, because it's in the trailer. Let's go on to here. Okay, well, there's a fair bit of money. Just over $1,800 per 1,000 litres. But once we get it in the silo, it'll tell us exactly how much the max value of these oats is worth. Then you've got to plus the straw as well, which I imagine the straw yield will be lower than a barley or a wheat field, but it's all extra. And especially on this map, I think soybeans, you get straw from them as well. So we're going to have a ridiculous amount of straw to go and sell. And now to tip the oats in. That's almost empty now. And then, right, if we go back to time saving stock check and find our oats. Okay, that's brilliant. So the max value is 48,500 for those oats. Then you plus the straw on top, so it's definitely worth buying the field and not doing the contract that way. But anyways, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.